It's official. After a long, hard layoff for professional pugilism in the British Isles, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Sport are bringing big-time boxing back to England.
It's been hard work, to be honest with you. You know, we've been thinking about ways to bring boxing back. You know, some people are going in studios, some people are going in sort of empty sports halls. Nah. We've got to do something spectacular. So we bring you Fight Camp, 4 weeks, 4 weekends on the spin. Start Saturday, August the 1st, Friday, August the 7th, Friday, August the 14th, Saturday, the 22nd of August, Dillian Whyte against Alexander Povetkin on the lawn, in the garden.
Matchroom Sports' weekly Fight Camp begins this August 1st and will finish on the 22nd. With a card headlined by the long-overdue heavyweight showdown between Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin. For Whyte, the crucial bout could cost him his repeatedly delayed mandatory title shot against the WBC champ Tyson Fury. And while most of the world wants to see Fury take on the unified champ Anthony Joshua for the undisputed title first, Hearn isn't so sure.
The world wants to see the undisputed fight, but everybody wants Dillian Whyte to get what he deserves, which is a shot at the world heavyweight title. And the run that he's been on has been unbelievable, and he's so deserving of that world title shot. So for me, you know, it's almost like Dillian Whyte should take priority over Anthony Joshua. He's been told that fight must happen by February 21, and we'll be doing everything we can to deliver that. But you know, I believe that the undisputed fight will happen next year with Anthony Joshua. But listen, maybe it's against Dillian Whyte. Maybe it's against Deontay Wilder. You could not rule anything out in this world, especially in heavyweight boxing. But, you know, we are 100% committed to make sure that Dillian Whyte gets what he deserves.
To further complicate the matter, Fury announced that Bob Arum and Top Rank of the United States will now be his sole promoter instead of England's Frank Warren. Where that leaves previous negotiations is unknown, but Hearn thinks the move could actually simplify things.
You know, in the last 48 hours, you've seen the team come out and say Bob Arum is in charge of Tyson Fury and he will be leading all negotiations for Tyson Fury in this fight. No problem. You know, I mean, it might have been a little bit harder if Tyson Fury had given Frank Warren that job, but thankfully he didn't. So, you know, Bob Arum is the guy who is heading up Team Fury right now. He's the guy who's in charge of all negotiations. And I had a good chat with him last night, and we're ready to try and conclude those and give everybody what they want to see in 2021.
For now, though, Hearn is focused on his upcoming Fight Camp, and he couldn't be happier.
I was actually out there today, and I was standing in the middle of the ring thinking, my God, Dillian Whyte is going to fight Alexander Povetkin here, you know, and Katie Taylor, the legend, is going to be fighting here. It's amazing.
While the undisputed women's lightweight champ Katie Taylor is booked to appear in the co-main event of the Whyte-Povetkin card, she is currently without an opponent. According to Hearn, 7-weight champ Amanda Serrano signed on for the fight, but her team keeps altering the agreement, a claim Serrano denies. Yes, I signed 4 contracts to fight Katie Taylor, and despite what lies Eddie Hearn wants to say, he offered us a purse deduction and a change of location, she tweeted. I'm not a toy, I'm done with the games. Eddie flatly disputed the accusations, responding, "Your promoter will confirm that exactly 1 week ago today, we confirmed in writing the new date, and that you would be paid the full amount that was in your contract." As usual, we're all left wondering who to believe. But either way, Hearn insists that Taylor will fight that weekend, and they have some big options for her up their sleeves. The first is a battle with the longtime undisputed welterweight champ Cecilia Brækhus in what would have been a huge upgrade. It's the fight Hearn has been after for a while, but Brækhus just announced that she'll be facing the unified junior welterweight champ Jessica McCaskill this August 15th in the States. So for now, that fight will have to wait. The second option is now far more likely. A rematch with Delphine Persoon, and that's great news. They tore strips off each other the first time, So if the Serrano fight does fall through, Persone is a brilliant stand-in. In other boxing news, heavyweight contender Jarrell Miller has failed yet another drug test, causing his return match to be canceled. The Big Baby was scheduled to face the unified champ Anthony Joshua in 2019 when Miller tested positive for GW1516, HGH, and IPO. He hasn't been in the ring since 2018, and with all the drugs still in his system, he won't be again anytime soon. To COVID news, boxing legend Roberto Duran has tested positive to the coronavirus in Panama. But don't you worry. Like so many of his past opponents, the Hands of Stone looks to have this one beat too. His son posted this picture of the 69-year-old Duran in the hospital, all smiles, saying that his pops is gonna be fine. And to MMA, where things are looking up too. UFC fighter and lightweight champ Khabib Nurmagomedov's teammate Islam Makhachev says his next fight is in the works for August. And that's when he says Khabib will make his return to the cage.
About my next fight, we have a negotiation, so maybe in August. I will fight when Khabib does. I do not know how everything will finish in terms of the negotiations, but in the meantime, I will be ready to fight very soon.
Nurmagomedov was due to defend his title against Tony Ferguson in April, but the fight was canceled due to the COVID pandemic. And on the topic of returns, One Championship has finally announced when they'll stage their first event since the lockdowns. According to the promotion's Twitter account, One will be back with an event in Bangkok, Thailand this July 31st. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.